See, I believe we are recording. Excuse me, guys. There we go. What it is, what it is, what it is. What it is, what it is, what it is. What it is. What it is. What it is. You gotta move with this one. What it is, what it is, what it is. What it is. What it is. What it is. Stay. Stay. I can't hit the notes. All right, guys, that was Sister Aretha Franklin from 1971 on Soul Train, Rock Steady. She performed that live. For those of you who haven't heard the news, or you probably have heard it now, that Sister Aretha Franklin passed away this morning. She passed away at her home while she was in hospice care, or surrounded by her family and friends. She was 76 years old. Sister Aretha lived a dynamic life, starting from her beginning, started early being in the church with her father, Pastor C.L. Franklin. Um, Aretha was originally born in Memphis, and she moved as a young girl when she was, I don't know, probably 5 years old or younger than that, to Detroit. And while she was never signed with Motown, she basically was Motown. She was the heart and soul of Detroit, aside from Motown Records. And she actually was close friends growing up with many of the Motown legends like Smokey Robinson and Abdul Fakir, of the Four Tops. Jackie Wilson used to come to her house, as well as Sam Cooke, because her father was a famous pastor. But she stayed true to Detroit. She lived in Detroit with and she grew up around those people. Stevie Wonder, I believe, as well. She grew up with, and if not, she associated with those artists because she was actually at one point in the '70s she was dating Dennis Edwards from the Temptations. In fact, one of my favorite Aretha Franklin songs was "Daydreaming," and I learned later on that that song was actually written about Dennis Edwards. So that's an interesting trivia for you. But she died of advanced pancreatic cancer, and I had a feeling the end was coming up when they said she was in hospice, because once you get to that stage, there's really nothing that the doctors or anybody can do. It's in God's hands. But we celebrate the life of Aretha, and while she's no longer with us, we celebrate which and commemorate what she did here on earth, and how her voice was an anthem for the civil rights movement. I've read this, the song Respect, which is her trademark song, believe it or not, was actually a song that was written by another soul legend, Otis Redding. And Otis Redding wrote Respect. And when he heard Aretha Franklin sing Respect, a cover of his song, he said to the crowd when he was performing, that woman then took my song. And there was nothing he could do. You didn't want to hear Respect by Otis Redding anymore. You didn't want to hear Carole King saying, "You make me feel like a natural woman," after you heard Aretha. So God bless her and her family. And one of the things I've noticed as well, we are losing a lot of legends. I think within the last 10 years or so, we don't have any more people who were trailblazers like her. Michael Jackson is gone. He died in '09, almost 10 years ago. Prince died in 2016. Whitney died 2012, who was Aretha's, they say that was her godmother. Aretha was her godmother. We lost Ray Charles in '04, James Brown in '06, Dennis Edwards, who was, again, a member of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame with the Temptations. He sang on Cloud Nine. He sang lead on Cloud Nine, and Papa Was a Rolling Stone, and a few other hits in the late '60s, early '70s. He passed away this year. He also had the hit single "Don't Look Any Further," which, of course, music video wasn't that great, but the song was a bomb. That's why it's been sampled so many times in hip hop, even from Tupac when he did "Hit 'Em Up." It's also been sampled by Cash Money. It's been covered so many times. But anyway, we're losing so many great artists that, tomorrow's not promised to us. So we have to appreciate what we have now. And that's why Stephanie Mills even talked about this when she clapped back at Sam Smith. And even before that, she talked about how now the face of R&B, the industry has made it clear that they want more whites to be the face of R&B. That's why you see somebody like Justin Timberlake or Sam Smith or Adele. Now, I'm not knocking those people who are not like us, that sing our music and culture, but you got to respect us. Sam Smith disrespecting Michael Jackson the way he did. Stephanie Mills, clapped back on his ass because you don't diss Mike. What's interesting, they will listen to our music, but they won't respect us as people. It's just like what you see with these athletes. I really believe if Michael Jordan were accused of something, and everybody knows the campaign in the '90s of how we want to be like Mike, and the Gatorade commercials Michael Jordan did. If he was accused of doing something, I'm sure, to a white woman or anything, how quickly they would get the public to turn against him, despite the records that he broke on the court. Greatest basketball player that ever lived, in my opinion. Wasn't that great, though, off the field as far as, social work that he committed himself to, or didn't commit himself, rather, to. But nevertheless, outstanding player. So I think about that, and that's why we got to really protect our culture, our music. We need to support more Black independent artists, labels, the people that you're not going to hear on radio. Belle Biv DeVoe even talked about this when they say why you don't hear any new music from them, or why you don't hear them on the radio anymore, is because people in the industry and in radio and the radio business and the music industry has changed now. And in fact, the radio industry, I think from what we had 30 years ago is going out of business because people are just listening to the internet radio, or they listen to satellite where it's uncensored. You could be yourself. But they talked about why they felt they were not um, getting more opportunities is because they're put in a box. You know, if you did something in the 90s, they consider that not only to be old, but, you know, you're not current or classic. Well, who defines what's current or classic? You don't know if they're putting out new music. Are you allowing them to put in new music to be played? Or is it a certain genre, or certain, not even a genre, but certain topics you don't want them to say? You know, I know for a fact that many young hip hop artists who have tried to not curse in their music or not talk about drugs or calling women hoes and bitches, they don't get airplay on the radio. And there's a reason behind that. But I'm just thinking about all of these things that, you know, our artists that we have now, I think the last few that are left, Stevie Wonder, Smokey Robinson, Frankie Beverly featuring Maze featuring Frankie Beverly, Charlie Wilson. I think those are really the only true ones from that era of the 60s and 70s that actually put out, you know, classic albums and put talent in. You know, those are the few that we have left, and we got to cherish them. You know, I'm grateful now that he's passed. I had a chance to see Prince perform live in New Orleans when he was at Essence Fest. I was going to miss that at first. And, you know, had I missed that, I would have been regretting it for the rest of my life. But I decided I was going to go despite taking the bar exam. I needed to break, and I was going to see him. And I saw Niles Rodgers and Janelle Monáe, and they set the place on fire. And it really was the Prince show. So, but anyway, today is not about those guys. It's about you, Sister Aretha. So I just want to say, wherever you are up in heaven, that we love you. Thank you for all that you've done. My mom loved you too. She called you Riri. Didn't you call her Riri? She waved me off. No, but that's it for me today, guys. I didn't want to be too long, but God bless the Franklin family. I'm praying for them, and God bless you, and God love you too. And all of you, thank you to my new followers. I appreciate it. One love, y'all.